Lauren, and I'm a sophomore.
I'm Sammy, and I'm also a sophomore.
And we've been friends since 7th grade, so 4 years now. Nope, 3 years. This group in particular is mainly just together with youth group and sometimes dance, but we get to bond closer. Church brought us together mainly since I can remember. It was the fall retreat, and every year we've been the same group from our grade that are like girls that have gone, and it's just like a different kind of bonding. Just like we went to summer camp, and that's just like you get to see like a different part of them when they're away from like social life. And so, Sammy, how do you define community in our church?
We split off into small groups, and those really help our community a lot because we get to share personal stories and help us grow in our faith. I think that we feel more comfortable in these groups because they ask us a lot of personal questions, and saying these, like sharing them with each other, makes us feel closer to each other. And since we've known each other for so long, we've kind of grown up together and gone through a lot of things together.
Yeah, and sometimes sharing things that are like very personal and knowing that they'll keep it to themselves is very helpful. Mm-hmm. Sometimes just to get it off your chest.
Mm-hmm. When do you think you've had a hard time in your life that church really helped you through it?
Going into middle school, not 6th grade, 7th and 8th grade, I didn't really have a bunch of friends, and especially on my school, like my team in school, I didn't have a bunch of friends. And when I came to church, there was just like a whole group of girls waiting for me, and that like it was instant friendship, and you get to share things that you couldn't have shared with like someone you've known for like a year because you don't trust them, but like these girls you automatically trust. What about you, Sammy?
Well, back in March, I had a big incident with my knee, and I had torn my MCL, and I lost a lot of my faith then because I didn't know how to get through that, especially because I was in our school play, and it was the week of that it happened. And so I had thought I disappointed a lot of people, but as I came out of it, I learned that I was just a much stronger person, and my faith grew even bigger then.
So we found a verse that's talking mainly about how we can be part of God's family, and the whole thing is Ephesians chapter 1.
What do you think these verses mean to you?
They mainly mean that like God created the church, and he made it like a place for you to feel safe, and you can trust him, and he's going to take care of you just like family should. Like family, like your mom and dad, or parents and guardians. Like your parents would do anything to protect you, and you just need to feel like God would do the same.
Well, just like in Ephesians 1, when we join this church and when we enter our church, we are loved by the whole community already. And you know that right off the bat, they trust you, and you can trust them. Like our friends at the church take us under their wing, God takes us under his wing to be a part of his family too. Now, Lauren's going to be reading Galatians chapter 3, verses 26 through 28.
So in Christ Jesus, you are all children of God through faith. For all of you who were baptized into Christ have clothed yourself with Christ. There is neither Jew nor Gentile, neither slave nor free, nor is there male and female, for you are all in one.
Away from this verse that in Jesus' eyes, we are all one, and we're all the same to him. He loves us all equally.
He doesn't care if you're a man or a woman, or if your skin tone is different than the person sitting next to you. He just loves you equally.
We're all a part of God's family, so how do you think you can be called to act in it?
Like, I remember it was just me and one other person here that I talked to at youth group, and then we invited more people, like you, and you started showing up, and your group grows, and it's just more fun the more people you have around. And so friendship can help spread God's family too. So like, Sammy, what are things you've done or that you plan on doing this week that will be like actions that show you're part of God's family?
Well, this week I know, especially since it's the first week of school for many people, we can all be kind to one another and spread his word a lot more. Because this week I know it's probably going to be hard for a lot of people getting used to their new high schools if they're starting it, and just getting used to different schedules and classes and meeting new people. So we can definitely bring his word into that a lot more this week.
Yeah, even if they're like leaving the high school and it's their last year, it can be really difficult for them because they've been probably looking forward to it since they were a freshman 3 years ago. And I think something like simple that anyone can do, well, almost anyone, you can just post little reminders on your Instagram. Like, I find like these really cool like accounts where they have like cute little quotes about God, and it's just like makes you feel relieved when you see one. Like, you post those all the time, and I love them. I've started following like almost all of those accounts. Or you can do like pray for your friends, even if they don't know you're doing it. Like, they'll feel it in their hearts.
How are you called to be a part of God's family this week?